M here in the word map should be đã map. Hello everybody, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. This is your teacher speaking, Sir Sulaiman. And we are back for another round of lesson. And for today, I like to focus on phonic. Yeah, this is it. Phonic. Phonic, as you may have known, it's the study of sound. Last week we have already done a few of the sounds. And for this week, what I want to do is to focus on the sound of I, M, N, and also D, which would be I for I, for M, for N, and D for D. Okay, so I don't want to waste any more time. So what I'm going to do is to first look at our learning objectives for today. Alright, first thing first, our learning objectives would be wait, let me just make this a bit smaller so that I can scribble better. Okay, that'll do. Learning objective. Okay, number one, your learning objective, which is what you will be achieving at the end of this lesson. Okay, so number one would be you should be able to say out the sound of the letter I, M, N, D. Right. Okay, this is the letter. So the sound would be I, as I've mentioned it earlier. I is I, M should be N should be D should be D, and that is another different thing. These what you see here are the letters. The sound are different thing. Okay, so note that sound is different, letter is different. Okay. And another objective would be you should be able to read aloud at least 5 words correctly. Okay, at the end of this lesson, so you should be able to read aloud at least 5 words correctly. And lastly would be match and write. You should be able to match and write at least, you should be able to match and write 6 out of 6 words correctly. Okay, so this will be our learning objectives for today. And let's proceed. Let's proceed. I scratched it again. I'm just gonna, yeah. Okay. So today, this will be the sound as I've shown or sounded earlier. We will have the letter I. Ooh. And number 2, we will have the letter M. Number 3, we will be going with the letter N. And lastly, we'll do the letter D, the sound of the D. Okay, so I, one more time, the sound should be I, a short sound. I equals to E. Number 2, M, the sound should be sedap. It goes like that. And number 3 should be, the sound for N is It's a bit nasal. The sound is a bit nasal. It's in your nose. Yeah. And number 4 should be the letter D, and the sound for D goes D, 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 D. Now, let me show you a few examples of the sound of I. I'll give you a few of examples in form of pictures so that you will be able to see it clearly. in order for you, to be able to grasp the concept along with the sound, of course. Okay, I, as I've mentioned earlier, the sound should be E. E. One example of I, an object with the sound of I, should be ink. Yeah, ink. I hope you know what ink is. Ink is, for example, let me just draw you something. Ink. See? Ink is like something that you use for you to write. For example, ink, you can find it in a pen, right? For example, or maybe in a printer's ink, where it has different color. Some has black, or maybe a red ink. For example, right now I'm using a red ink. See, this is red. If I turn it to another color, maybe yellow, so this is yellow ink. Okay, so the sound of I, one of the examples should be ink. I is for ink. Ink. So that's the sound of I. Ink. Okay. Another example would be let me just, okay, I'm just going to use red again. Another example would be let me think. Yes, I got it. Iguana. Do you know what iguana is? Okay, let me draw you something. Iguana, how should I draw this? Okay, This is like the eyes. It's like a big lizard, actually. Doesn't look much like iguana, but this will do. This picture is blocking me. Okay, has like a fin light here. Yeah, so this is iguana. See, it starts with I. Iguana. So the sound for I here should be E. I is for iguana. Iguana. See, this beautiful red iguana here. It looks like a big lizard. Iguana is actually like another form of big lizard, I guess. Wait. See? Oh no. Shouldn't be coloring this. Maybe I should be using a green, I guess. Wait. Woo! That is one ugly iguana. Okay, so there you go. Iguana. The sound of I in iguana is E. Okay. You get it? I hope you get it. Okay. Now we're gonna move on to the sound of M. I forgot to mention earlier. For example, here, this is the small letter of I. This is like capital letter of I. So you should know the difference, okay? Huruf kecil, huruf besar. And here is the sound, here is the letter M, small letter, And here is the capital letter. Huruf besar, huruf kecil. Okay, now we're gonna check out the sound of M. The sound of M should be One more time. Now another one example of word that starts with M would be, can you guess it? Can anyone guess it? Can anyone guess? Yes, I have one in mind. An example of a word that starts with the letter M with the sound is, try and guess. What is this? Oh no. Yeah, you guessed it, I guess. This is a mug. It starts with M, so the sound should be mug. Mug. M is for mug. Mug. Right, so this is like my mug. I have here like special mug given to me by my wife, I guess. I love you. Okay, so this is the example of the sound of M, which is Okay, another example would be, let me just erase this first. Can you guess it? The next one. Can you guess it? Okay, I have one in mind. We'll have like This is, if you're familiar with the cartoon Dora the Explorer, you should know what this is. See? Can you guess it right now? Can you guess it? Yeah, this is a map. I'm the map. Sort of. So the sound of M here in the word map should be map. M is for map. Map. Short. Map. Okay. So there you go, two examples of sound of Alright, so now I'm gonna proceed to the next sound. The next sound should be for N. This is like small letter N, capital letter N. Capital letter, sorry. Okay. For the sound of N, we should have a few examples. Number one, can you guess it? I'm gonna go with the word yes. Simplest form of example should be, what is this? You guess it. This is number 9. See? 9. So the sound in the word 9 should be a short 9. N is for 9. 9. Nasal. So here we have number 9. Okay. Another example would be Yep, I'm just gonna go with somebody taking a. This is you during your free time. Okay, this is you when you're not doing homework. So what are you doing now? What is this boy? I think. What is this boy doing now? He is actually taking a nap. See? Nap. Nap. And in the word nap is It's the same as 9, you know? And it's for nap. 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 Nap is actually taking a short sleep, maybe in the middle of the day, or maybe when you're just too tired, so you'll be likely to take a nap. It's not really like an 8-hour sleep, it's just a simple short sleep, maybe like half an hour or 15 minutes. That is what you call a nap, a short sleep, I guess. Okay, so that's it for Now we're gonna move on to our last sound for this lesson. Let's go with the sound of D. 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 D is the sound of the letter D. Small letter D. This is like a capital letter D. The sound is the same. D. 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 Okay. Can you give me one example for the sound of D? Wait, let me just think. Yeah, I have one. What I have in mind is one animal, one famous animal. I don't know. This looks like another animal. It's more like it. Please guess this animal now. I'm sure you can guess it by now. This is, you guessed it, this is a duck. Duck. So the sound of the D in duck should be D. 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 D is for duck. D. Duck. Duck. So this is one happy duck. Let me just put a makeup on her or something. I'm just gonna use orange color. Maybe it has like, you know, where's the orange? Yeah, an orange hair here, and some eyebrow. Maybe add in some hair. Some hair. That's more like it. So there you have it, duck. Duck. Okay. Another example of the sound of D, the sound of D would be, another animal, I guess, just to make it easier for you. This looks like an 8 something. Bear with me. Remember, this is an animal. Yes. Let me just go down a bit. Yeah. Ni got, huh? Yeah. Oh no. What did I do? Okay. And the tail. Yeah. So what animal is this? This is a dog. You guessed it. D is for dog. Dog. So the sound of the D again in the letter dog, in the word dog, is dog. 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 Yay. So there you go. The sound of D. Okay. So, okay, let's just review some of your lessons just now. Okay, first one we have like I, right? So I, I'm gonna write here I. So what was the example of I? Number one would be ink. Remember? Ink. The sound of I in ink is I. I. Another example that I gave you was iguana. Iguana. So the letter, the sound of I in the word iguana is I. 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 Okay. Another letter was M. M. Example that I gave just now was mug. 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 Another example, map. 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 The next letter was N, right? So the example that I gave was nap. Number 9 first, right? 9. So the sound of the N is Another example was nap, right? Short sleep. Nap. Nap. And the last letter was D. D. Example was duck. D-U-C-K. The sound of a D is D. 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 And another example that I gave was dog. Dog. D. D. Dog. Okay. So that is it for today. The 4 letters I, M, N, D. Okay. So for the next task, as I've mentioned in the learning objectives earlier, I want you to be able to say at least 5 of these words. We have like ink, iguana, mug, map, 9, nap, duck, dog. You may practice with your family members, with your parents. Try to say these words correctly. Let me just give you another example. Ink, iguana, mug, map, 9, nap, duck, and dog. So say it out loud correctly. Okay. Your last task would be there to match and write. Okay. For your information, I will attach this together with your assignment. Each of you will get a piece of this paper. You may print it, or if you can't print it, you just write it back in your exercise book. Okay. So this is just a simple exercise, which is match and write. Match the word with the picture correctly. For example, here we have a picture of baby. So what you have to do is find the correct word. For example, this should be the answer. Nap. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoy. I've given you the examples and everything. I hope you'll be able to do it to achieve the objectives set in for this lesson. And with that, I'll see you in another lesson, and thank you very much, and assalamu alaikum, and peace out. Yeah, man.